first cabin is now totally complete inside and out. Here's a quick fire recap of how we've gotten to this point. Over the last 2 years, we've managed to decide we were going to start a business together, come up with a one-of-a-kind eco-cabin concept, had architects turn our rough sketches into actual plans to build from, fully built our prototype cabin, kicked off the build of the next 4, made 5 cabin build journey episodes on YouTube, grew our social following from 0 to over 10k, bagged our planning permission, secured the land for our first site, got national press coverage and won a Scottish Edge Award. Not too bad for a pandemic. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. Welcome to episode 6 of our cabin build journey series. In this one, we're going to go back in time a little to when cabin 1's build had just completed and it had been hooked up to the electricity for the very first time. Then we'll head over to the site in Millport to hunt for standing stones with an archaeologist, but first, let's head over to Edinburgh to pick up that Scottish Edge prize. So, Scottish Edge is the UK's biggest business funding competition. It's kind of like a Dragon's Den style business pitching competition where Scotland's very best battle it out for their share of the £1.5 million prize pot and a really valuable package of wraparound startup support that comes with it. So, because we're both under the age of 30, me just, we were put forward for the Young Edge category. We spent countless hours putting together and rehearsing the perfect pitch in our wee office space. We pitched to a panel of 5 expert judges, and this was all done remotely due to COVID, which to be honest definitely beats standing up on the stage getting grilled by the judges face to face. Anyway, here's the moment we finished the 3-minute pitch and the 7-minute Q&A.
So Daniel, fresh off the Edge pitch, how'd you get on?
Fantastically. Couldn't have delivered it any better. A wee bit nerve-wracking at times, but absolutely nailed the pitch with help of some minor notes, of course. But smashed the Q&A, panel seemed to love it. So yeah, really chuffed with that. I don't think we could have done much better. So.
And how did you feel when we were meant to start at 11:30, but we're in the waiting room of the Teams call for about 10 minutes?
There's nothing worse. All sorts of thoughts going through your head, like have we clicked the wrong link? Have we joined last year's meeting? But the call finally joined. It was probably only 20 seconds we were waiting for, but it felt like an eternity, But yeah, got there. Really happy with that.
So results in tomorrow afternoon, and then off for a beer.
If we win that.
Or a whiskey if we lose.
If we lose, we're doing overtime. The next day, the result came in. So I've just gotten the email in from Scottish Edge, and I'm absolutely buzzing to say that we've won something. We don't know how much yet, but we know we've won a prize, so really excited. Adam doesn't know yet because I've just gotten the email, so I'm going to phone him, but I'm going to wind him up and tell him that we didn't get it.
Hello?
Alright, do you have a minute?
Yeah.
So, I just got an email from Edge.
Right.
Basically they said that due to like the high calibre of applicants this round, we weren't successful in getting a prize.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What an anticlimax, eh?
Got it, man.
Only pulling your pecker, we got it.
I second that. Through my veins there, man.
Right. Sorry, I couldn't pass up that opportunity to wind you up, man. I also filmed it for the journey vlog. It's fair to say that after all of that hard work and getting the result, that some celebrations were in order. So we headed up to Edinburgh for the awards night. Here's how that went. We hopped in the train, obviously never not working us two, into Waverley Station and up for a quick bite to eat before the event. How nice is Edinburgh city centre, by the way? Being based in the West Coast, we don't get much chance to come up this way, so we do always appreciate it when we do.
I feel like this is like up your couples travel video, like you're holding my hand, filming me.
Christmas in Edinburgh. Gardyloo, am I right? A wee well-deserved beer with dinner, then headed to the awards, which were hosted at the RBS headquarters in Gogarburn. As I said in that last segment, all we knew was that we'd won a prize of some sort, but not actually how much we'd won, so here's the moment we found out.
Next up, we have a family-led business offering up-and-coming eco-cabin experiences on the scenic Isle of Cumbrae. And if you're looking for an Instagram-friendly stay, very soon you'll be able to book a cabin at Jack's Alt Stays. So I'd like to welcome Daniel Jack and Adam Jack on stage to receive a Young Edge Award of £10,000.
So that was that. As you can probably tell, we were pretty chuffed with that result, and of course incredibly grateful to the Scottish Edge team for making that happen, so thank you. £10,000 is an incredible amount of money at our start-up stage, and that's going to go towards our launch campaign, media equipment, and creating our first housekeeping role in Millport, the first of hopefully many in the future. After the awards, the celebrations obviously continued. This seems to be a recurring theme here. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that. A couple days later, we headed back up to check out the more or less completed cabin 1.
Rainy day, so we better get inside. These down like it's like class, don't they? Whoa! That's looking incredible, to be fair. We'll try the lights. Oh! Listen, I was doing that as a joke.
We're hooked up.
I was literally doing that as a joke. There you go. Lights actually work. Whoa! That's class, man. So obviously we've got the infrared heaters hardwired in now. They've just been sitting in the workshop for ages waiting to be installed, so finally got around to it. And then obviously all these wee spotlights, which they look nice just coming straight down the middle, don't they?
Smart.
Real smart. It's not been often that we've had a wee quiet moment inside of this when there's not like drilling going on and we've got the door closed. But it gives you a proper good feeling of what it's going to be like, doesn't it?
Absolutely. What about that bathroom?
Oh yeah. Bathroom lights, you ready?
Aye.
Hey. Oh wow, man. Right. Jeez, oh that looks class. These are the same as the infrared heaters that are on the roof. This towel rail is the exact same spec, so still will be warm to touch, but essentially what it does is it heats surfaces around rather than heating the actual air, and they're obviously very energy efficient. But a couple of towels hanging there, big nice mirror.
Is that heated as well?
Yeah, in fact, yes, I forgot about that. So not only will you get the heat from that, but you'll get it from
Low
from
energy as well.
Hello there. Tap. Well, obviously hooked up. Because I was dying for a sh. You've got the LED lights, what's that?
That's the strip.
Oh right, yeah, but that's not hooked up. Oh, what? No way!
We've got it set to party mode already.
I actually didn't know that I was going to be hooked up, that's amazing. Wait, so where's the controller for that then?
It will be Wi-Fi enabled, so voice controlled in the Google Home.
We've got to give it the high finish. Should be sitting here somewhere.
It actually looks terrible with that
Party mode?
that coloured party mode, yeah. That's not what it's going to be.
Yeah, quiet, relaxing island treatment.
Oh, here you go. Here's your boy.
Nice. Right, let's give it a bash. It's really easy to use. There we go. Yeah, so that almost looks like green to be honest, but...
I've heard these things have something like 16 million colour combinations.
Is that right? That was better. That looks more
Oh,
honest,
there's
doesn't
your
it?
boy, yeah.
Ah, now you're talking.
Obviously this space in the corner here is yet to be filled with the sofa wall bed, but that should be arriving next week or so.
Man, this looks so good.
Looks well smart, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks proper good.
It's something as simple as an LED strip, and that'll all be part of the fully immersive smart home tech-enabled sensory experience. Oh.
Much more than a place just to rest your head. So that's pretty much how cabin 1 is sitting right now. Just the soft furnishings and a one-of-a-kind artist wall mural to go, so definitely stay posted for that in the next episode. When you're granted planning permission in the UK, the council's planning department often attaches what's called planning conditions to that approval, and ours was no different. One of these conditions was to carry out a full archaeological evaluation before any work could start on site. So 2 cousins, a digger driver and an archaeologist walk into a bar.
Oh,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How's things?
Feels
feels bad to be back. It was a struggle getting up this morning, I won't lie to you.
Especially morning doesn't help, does it?
Nah, it doesn't. No. What a day to stand in a field all day.
I know, right? I've not even tied my shoelaces either.
Well, let's do it.
So it's Monday, January the 3rd, 2022. It's a pretty wet day over here in the Isle of Cumbrae. Most people have a few extra days beyond this point in their Christmas holiday, but not us. We are up and out and we're heading over to site this morning, and Adam will tell you exactly why we're doing that.
Yep, so basically one of the final things that we need to sort with the planning side of things is to get our archaeological dig done. Now, it was something that we actually had scheduled in for just before Christmas, but we've been having all sorts of ferry troubles and nightmares. The morning that we had it booked in, we had a technical issue with one of the ferries, and then by the time that they got a replacement boat, they had a COVID case as well. So our whole plan to get the archaeological dig before Christmas was scuppered. But yeah, so the big goal really is just to get this dig done, find nothing of significance, and then that will finally allow us to crack on with the rest of the groundworks.
Yeah, hopefully we don't dig up King Alexander's sword.
So the reason we had to do this archaeological evaluation was that there were a couple of old books from the 1800s that mention a line of 12 standing stones stretching 100 yards due south from the farm, just up the road from us. So that's exactly what we were hunting for on our site, either standing stones themselves or any evidence pointing towards their presence.
So at the moment we're basically digging our first trench that's going to go the full length of the site, and we're currently about 5 metres into it. Now Fiona's found what, limestone, different bits of china, pottery, but no dinosaur bones, no treasure so far.
And what you got there?
Some little bits of plant pot, terracotta, so these are the type of things that are coming up, but as I say, no gold coins or bones or anything like that, and that's what we're kind of trying to avoid really.
I'll tell you what, come back to us when you get something exciting.
So the dig is progressing well.
Yes, doesn't look like it from this angle, but it's going not too bad. Weather's kept favourable for us. So one thing that's worth noting is basically we need to trench out about 8 to 10% of this whole site. Now that adds up to about 300 metres squared or thereabouts. And that's what we need to do to sort of meet the archaeological condition. And again, the reason we're doing that is just to make sure that there's nothing sort of unexpected or untoward under the ground that we need to know about before we start developing. Now when the archaeologist decides where she wants us to dig, it obviously makes sense to locate those trenches where we're going to be developing anyway. That's why Chris and Fiona are starting the trench from that far east point and taking it all the way down this line along the northern boundary right over to the western. And coincidentally, that is where the cabins are all going to be sort of distributed, as you can see there. So Adam and I are just about to measure that all out and fire in the wee red flags so they can dig in the right places.
Yep, get your measuring tape out. Alright, so Daniel and I have just finished marking out the drainage system area with our wee red flags. And in the meantime, the trench digging has been continuing with Chris and Fiona, and there's actually been a discovery. Now, everything that we've found so far has just been like smashed bits of plant pots and glass and stuff like that. However, they've found something that's quite interesting. Thankfully, it's not going to be a showstopper archaeology-wise, so have a look. As you can see what we've found, if you can see it going in a straight line down the trench there, it's actually an old style drain. So essentially it's about 3 foot underground, it's about 9 inches wide, and it's essentially just like a pile of rocks. But for its time, pretty straight, some nice handiwork, and obviously we've just used for drainage on this sort of farmland before. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Fiona's just found a medieval standing stone row of major archaeological significance.
Damn it.
What you got there, Daniel?
Here's this morning's first discovery. It's a toothbrush.
It's brilliant.
It's quite lucky because I forgot to brush my teeth this morning.
What was initially supposed to take 1 to 2 days ended up taking 9. Yep, 9 days. Thanks to ferry disruption, challenging weather, a tiny digger and a pernickety archaeologist. You know what they're like. Only joking, Fiona, it was a pleasure working with you. It's actually quite funny watching these clips back where we were blissfully optimistic that we'd get it done in 2, but you know what, we all got stuck in and got there in the end, ultimately clearing that final archaeological planning condition.
If I told you at the start of this process that the 2-day archaeological dig was going to last 5 days, we were going to suffer serious delays, and you're also going to be standing there in the snow with no feeling in your toes, would you have believed it?
And I told you. So this is the story of our journey. Any potential challenge that we could have had, we have. Snow, delays, ferry cancellations, COVID, other illness. It's just the story of our lives, but we shall get there.
It will all be worth it.
Will it?
Yes. So Daniel, how's it going?
Good. Getting very dirty down here in the trenches. Now we're just giving Fiona a wee hand, just kind of cleaning up some of this stuff. This I've got here is what we think to be like an old pathway from the 1800s. Where's that map gone? So this is an old map from 1860, and this is like our site here. As you can see, there's like kind of crisscross pathways and stuff. We think that might be either related to that or a flooring in an old greenhouse or something like that. So you can see the sort of red terracotta pipe that essentially drains from the path into this drainage channel here. So it's all very interesting and exciting stuff. Adam, they don't teach you this at Z1151 Entrepreneurship Theory and Practice at Strathclyde Uni, do they?
I think I missed that chapter actually.
How's it going?
You know what? It's quite fun. It is just doing like a grown-up puzzle. You know, it's quite satisfying to do, but at the same time also my lower back is absolutely killing me. So,
You've been doing it for about half an hour, she's been doing it for about 20 odd years.
I know.
How do you think her back is?
I honestly don't know how she manages it. It's unbelievable. But,
So there's Adam's wee finding, this is the slate pathway, we believe, and then here's mine over here. All nice and clean, ready for photography.
I learnt a new term when we did the archaeological dig. Clean dirt.
Clean dirt?
I never knew it was possible, but apparently clean dirt is a thing, and clean dirt is what I'm currently trying to achieve. So
There we go.
it's going well though. So how much is it? 18 metres?
Aye.
Wait a minute.
Is that a big one? Quick, rein it in. Oh, that's a red flag, that.
Archaeological dig cleared, and at that point nothing was stopping us cracking on with the site preparations, ready for the first cabins to start arriving. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this 6th episode of our cabin build journey series, and what a journey it has been so far. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for episode 7, where the diggers will be rolling onto site to kick off the site preparations. We'll be getting cabin 1, the hives, wall mural painted, and the cabin will make the treacherous journey from the workshop over to the island. So you definitely don't want to miss that. I'll catch you in the next one.